Good morning, students. Today we are going to study grammar with the clauses. It is a group of words. Clauses are group of words. It is a combination of subject and verb. When the subject is there and a verb are there, and it has a complete meaning in itself, or it can stand on its own, we can call it a clause. It is a sentence or a part of a sentence. There are two conditions there. Either it is a sentence or a part of a sentence. In a simple sentence like this, a boy is standing under a neem tree. Boy is a subject and a verb is standing. Now this is a simple sentence. Now in this complex sentence, this is the girl who stood first in the class. Now there are two kinds of clauses: independent clause and subordinate clause or dependent clause. Independent clauses in the blue. This is the girl who stood first in the class is a dependent clause. Independent or main clause or principal clause which stands on its own. Dependent or subordinate clause which depends on the other part of sentence to convey its meaning. When the cat is away, the mice will play. God helps those who help themselves. We returned home when the sun set. Now the part of sentences which are in red, they are dependent clauses. They are subordinate clauses. And the part of the sentences which are in blue, they are independent, main or principal clauses. When the mice will play, God helps those, we return home are independent sentences. Dependent clauses are of three types: adverb clause, noun clause or adjective clause, which is also known as a relative clause. Adverb clause modifies. What it does? Modifies verb introduced by when, whenever, while, after, before, since, till, as soon as, etc. Do not talk while you are eating. Now adding to the information to the verb talk in the second sentence, adding to the information to the verb wait. We shall wait here until you come. Do not talk while you are eating. Subordinate clauses that does the work of a noun in a sentence is called a noun. She expected that she would win the election. Now the noun clause that she would win the election is working as a noun for which verb? Expected. What we think is a noun clause, working for which verb? Acting for which verb? Gives. Noun clauses are introduced by that, which, why, what, how, when, if, whether, etc. What relative or adjective clauses describes a noun in the main clause. It is introduced by the words like who, which, that, whom, where, why, etc. That man who is wearing a black coat is a lawyer. Now the adjective clause, who is wearing a black coat, telling about the noun, that man. Where I was born, the place, the house I remember. I remember the house where I was born. This is one of the strangest bird that I have ever seen. So it is telling about the strangest bird, telling about the noun, describing the noun by the adjective clause. The relative clauses or adjective clauses are of two types: non-defining clauses and defining clauses. Defining clauses gives us essential information about noun, immediately comes after noun, and there is no comma after noun in the defining clauses, defining relative clauses. So what the defining gives essential information about the noun there. Non-defining is just opposite to the defining relative clause. Gives us extra or unnecessary information. Do not define or identify the noun, or common in the written language. Never use that in non-defining clause. Now these are the points to be remembered. Now you will understand it better by these sentences. The doctor who treated me is my cousin. Now, who treated me is essential information about the doctor. But in the second sentence, my cousin is a doctor who plays at the same cricket club as you, is an extra information. So it is a non-defining relative clause. I hope you have understood it. And for better understanding, do pause the video to watch for the better understanding.